Hey guys, welcome to Red's Projects. Today, doing a video on the Falcon, and it's been a long time since this thing has been on the channel, so let's have a bit of a look at it. She's quite dirty. I cannot remember the last time I gave it a wash. Let's get the bonnet open. It's been a long time since I've opened the bonnet. Yep, everything's still there. Nothing's been stolen. All right, so I looked back at my videos and on my phone and stuff, and it's been a year since I raced it at Heathcote, and shortly after that was the last video I did on the car. And in that 12 months, I've not done anything interesting or fun with this car. I drive it to work once a week just to keep it alive, keep the battery alive, keep the fluids flowing, keep the fuel being burnt and stuff. And in that 12 months I've done 2,500 Ks, which isn't a great deal of work really. I think my other cars do 10 to 15,000 Ks a year. So I haven't driven it much, haven't got much enjoyment out of it. When you drive it to and from work, you generally baby it, and like there's lots of traffic and lots of other people on the roads and stuff, so I generally be smart and just take it easy. So yeah, the last 12 months I've done nothing interesting with the car, which if I did do anything interesting I would have made a video. All right, so the reason I haven't done anything interesting or fun with the car in the last 12 months is I've got a list of things I need to do to it, that some of them are little annoying things that just annoy me, some of them I have to change to make it better and faster and to make it safer. So I'll run through those in a minute. But another reason is I just kind of don't love the car anymore. Like, I don't know, it's been working on a lot of older cars lately, and modern cars just seem like buckets of shit. I don't know if it's the Barra engine I don't really like anymore, I don't know. I've invested a lot of money in this car, and like for it to just kind of sit around and get baby to work once a week is kind of depressing as well. So not 100% sure, but I don't want to get rid of the car. So as the title of the video says, I want to make the Falcon great again. I want to enjoy it, I want to love it, I want to have fun with it, I want to get my money's worth out of it. So I'll quickly grab me list that I've written, we'll run through it. I've got some work to do to it as well, and we'll take it for a bit of a thrash and have some fun. All right, so let's quickly run through this list. Driver's window, the regulator's gone in it. It's currently stuck there. It's just weak and just doesn't work that well anymore. It's not a big issue. I've already got another regulator, a brand new one, in the boot. I'm going to replace that once I finish talking about this shit. Boost gauge, the backlight on the boost gauge doesn't work anymore. So, not a big issue. I've got another gauge on order, but it's just one of those things that annoy you when you drive it, that the gauge isn't working. There's something wrong. So that's another thing that annoys me. Steering wheel. This is seen better days. You can see the leather is peeling off it, and in summer it gets really sticky and gross and you don't want to touch it. Center console is the same. All the leather or whatever it's made from is wearing out and getting real gross. If you rest your elbow on it, you end up with like a little black brown spot on your elbow, and it's just gross and disgusting. So both of those will get recovered at some point. Seat, typical BA. That seat plastic is broken, and it's the first thing I see when I open the door, so that annoys me. This is the second one I've put in the car, so I guess I'll just put another one in and just try not to break it. All right, sorry to interrupt, but there's one thing I forgot to put on that list, and that is my ICC assembly does not work. Like, nothing here works. The screen doesn't work, the radio doesn't work, the heater, aircon, all this doesn't work. The lock button, the light button, none of this works. So that's really annoying. If it's a cold morning, you go jump in the car and drive, you can't demist the windscreen. If it's a hot day, you can't turn the aircon on. And you go for a big drive, you can't listen to the radio. So that has to be fixed. That really annoys me. But I forgot to put it on the list, so I forgot to mention it before. So now you know. So back to whatever the hell it was I was talking about before. headlight. I have to replace, I think, the left-hand headlight. It's broken internally. You try and adjust it, nothing happens, and it just points down to the ground. So I've got to put a new headlight in, and if you put one in, it looks like crap because you've got a nice new shiny clean headlight. So I'll replace both of them at the same time. Translines. When I did the Translines, which was before the crash, which so was like probably 6 years ago, I used push lock fittings with just plain old transmission rubber lines, and I mean they've been going for a long time now. I think I've done like 30,000 K since I did the auto conversion, so they've held up, but I just lose a bit of sleep over them. They don't have hose clamps on them, and I'm just worried that one day one of them's going to pop off, probably most likely when I'm at the drag strip, and I'm going to oil the track down, possibly toast the auto, or you know, need to get a tow truck to get home. So I'm going to replace the transmission cooler lines, I should say, with braided lines, just for peace of mind. As far as plans for the car, I talked with the tuner, and if we replace the wastegate actuator, because mine's about 12 psi one, if we replace it to an 18 pound one, we can pick up a little bit more boost in the top end of the rev range and just make a little bit more power, make it a little bit more revvy up top of the rev range, and make it a little bit faster, obviously. So that's something I want to do. When that happens and it gets tuned, I'll probably get the cold start looked at as well, like leave it there for a couple of days and get that kind of a bit better. And then last thing, when I raced it last, I was hitting the rev limiter before the finish line on the quarter mile. Now there's 3 ways I can fix that. First one is change gearing. I'm not changing the gearing. Second one is tire size. So I was using a 26-inch tall drag radial. I've got a pair of 28s, so I'll just try them next time. That's the easiest way to go about it. And then third way is to move the rev limiter up. So I'm pretty sure at the moment it's at 6,000, so I can move it up to 6.5 or 7,000, which will probably happen when it gets tuned. I'll just ask him to do that so that I'm not hitting the rev limiter, and I can hold it wide open through the traps and actually get a good mile per hour, because my mile per hour was down a little bit because I was hitting the rev limiter before the end of the track. All right, so that's it for the list. It's just a lot of little things that add up to a driving experience that is not that enjoyable for me. So that's what I've got to work through. Got to tick those things off the list one by one, make the car great again, and start enjoying it again. So first thing I'm going to do is change this window regulator, and then we will take it for a spin, because this video has been a bit depressing so far. So we'll go find a nice back street and actually have some fun, stretch its legs, and get some enjoyment out of it. All right, so the window's all fixed. You do that. Look at that. Goes down. Goes up. Amazing. All right, so we'll go for a bit of a drive, and this is going to be a good opportunity to try out my new toy. I bought a draggy. If you don't know what they are, Google it, or just wait a couple of weeks and I'm going to do a video just on it. But it's basically a GPS device that will tell you your quarter mile, eighth mile, 0 to 60, or there's a whole list of things it can record, and they're pretty accurate. People have tested them on the drag strip and they're within like 100th normally, so I'm really excited to try it out. It's just magnetic, so you just stick it to something metal facing upwards. So I'm probably going to stick it in the boot under the carpet, and we'll go for a drive and see what it does over the quarter on the street. All right, so on the way here, traction's been pretty good. I'm off the side of the road now in the dirt, so this first one will probably spin a bit, but I'm expecting it to spin a bit anyway. I've got the draggy set on 0 to 60 mile per hour, 1/8 mile and 1/4 mile, so I'll try and leave on a little bit of boost and we'll see what it can do on the street. So just roll forward a little bit, try and get some of that shit off the road. Okay, leave on a little bit. Okay, so that was a 12.7, which I guess isn't too bad. 60 foot, 2.61, that's horrible. That's like a second slower than what it does on the drag strip. All right, let's try again for a little less boost on the leave. Alright, that was 12.43, which is better. Alright, I was going to do one more, but my trans temp's pretty hot, so I need to really cruise it a bit to cool down. So, alright, so I drove around a little bit, the trans has cooled down to about 85 degrees. Okay. So, same thing, I'll try not to leave on any boost because it just spins. Okay, let's reset. Drag radials, I don't think I'm going to be able to go much quicker on the road. Yeah, with street tyres, I haven't done a burnout or anything like that to get the tyres hot, but on street tyres, I don't think I'm going to be able to leave much quicker than that. All right, so that was 12.49 in the quarter, 8.50 in the 8th, 2.31 60 foot, which is still pretty bad, but that's just the way it is with street tyres on the road. It's night and day. I mean, it's nearly 2 seconds slower, and that's just because I'm leaving with no boost. Like that first run, I tried to leave on 3 pounds, and it spun as soon as I let go of the brake. On the drag strip, I can leave on 20. So that's the difference right there. So, oh, I guess I'll cruise it back home. All right, let's talk about goals for 2021 in the Falcon. So I want to fix all that, or most of that stuff on the list. Make the car enjoyable again, make it fun, drive it more, destroy more tyres, race it more. Just have more fun this year. I also want to run a 1050 in it, which I ran a 1078, I think, last time. That's my best, that's a PB for this car so far. So I don't have far to go. I want to squeeze a little more boost into it, make a little more power. And if I have to, I'll strip some weight out. I'll take seats out, I'll take spare wheel out, I'll take stuff out that I don't need to make it lighter. So enjoy it, 1050. I want to run a 1099 or quicker with a passenger. So me and Shep came really close to that last time I raced it. I believe we ran an 11.0 something, I'm not sure. But like I said, a little more power, and that should be pretty easy to achieve, I believe. What else I want to do? I want to get the previous owner in the passenger seat. So Brucey, I know you're watching. I want you in the passenger seat, and either we go down the drag strip, or like what I've just done today, we go for a good spin around the block and have some fun, and you can experience the car the way it is. So it's changed a lot since you've had it. It's making like double the power. It's now auto instead of manual. It's a completely different beast. So I want you to experience the car. And what else do I want to do this year? Okay, this is a big maybe. I would like to do drag challenge in this car. So this car's a good all-rounder. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's got aircon, it's pretty quick, it's pretty reliable. So it's a good candidate for a drag challenge car. not really fast enough really, but to experience it and to enjoy the week, this is probably a good car for it. That's about it. That is what I want to do this year with this car. So you've got a lot to look forward to. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and I'll see you next time.